house over the past 7 years, mainly weekends and occasional bank holidays, that sort of thing. I've pretty much done everything myself. Because I sort of was an artist for so many years and consider myself an artist, it's probably not a straightforward approach. It's a problem solving and arriving at solutions that interest me and excite me. One needs to understand, learn from the trades and the profession. You need to understand how these things hold apart, hold together. My retaining wall hasn't got a single crack in it, which I'm very, very, very pleased about. So you can learn from things. But it is a creative process in wanting to put a curve in there, or building sort of half steps, and it's more just how I feel like that would look like. That would be nice. I'll do it that way then. Like a painting, you haven't got a clear idea of what it's going to look like at the end when you start. That's okay. You can change your mind along the way. This was pink carpet, and I always seem to start with taking out the carpet, looking at the staircase and saying, I'm not doing that again after last time. I'm not going to take all that carpet and manky plastic stuff up and sand it all down again. But I always seem to do that inevitably. I do like that as a solution for staircases. Similarly for the floor in here. So when we moved in, this was a doorway, quite a narrow doorway, and there were some quite deep bookshelves here, which really restricted this space and made for a very cramped kitchen. But knocking through these two spaces, it's created a better lighting and more open. My friend Casper helped me on the day we put the steel in, but other than that, I've done everything from blocking that, the brickwork to put that in, plastering. The electrics are luckily very straightforward. The carpentry. And this is a second-hand kitchen. It's an old Howden's kitchen. It's an organic process. I think it's not to say I'll finish the kitchen and then we'll do the bathroom or the living room. There's always been a sort of a first pass, a second pass, a third pass on all of these spaces. But this was, yes, this is a fairly new construction. I wanted to use scaffolding planks and to use as many uncut planks as I could, just because. And that wall, it's nice to make some use of these Cotswold stone walls that we have. That was completely overgrown with ivy, and it's been sort of, again, pass by pass, slowly cleaned up. We do work as a team, and I can't claim any credit for the planting. Jolanda's always been very good at planting, arranging and creating sort of green, organic spaces. So that was kind of the trigger to where we started. She said, I really need a sort of wall or something in the back garden where I can plant things. So I thought, I know what, I'll get a mini digger. And that's really what sort of kicked it all off.
It's a really trendy thing now, like Chelsea Flower Show, they talk about chaos planting. I'm like, I invented that 20 years ago. It's just a bit more natural, not like just one group of certain plants and a one big group of another plant and all very, very structured. It's just all a bit more loose, a bit more scattered, and yes, leave some space for wildflowers to come through as well, or like forget-me-nots and things like that. So
this was a very cramped little space. Above there was a pergola and a little tiny round coffee table. So I built this timber out. I took down there was some quite heavy trellising around there. So I built this out a little bit. And then I put some steps in here. And the pergola, I've taken what was there originally. There are some old posts, and sort of built something kind of around what was there, but it's waterproof. So quite a comfy place to sit. More like a room now. It's got its own defined space. So this is the newest bit. It's all on levels, so you come in the front garden, you have to go up some steps, and it's all about the levels, and this has been the place you arrive at the end. with the biggest view. Today I'm continuing the steps. And the idea is to make a little platform here and then a few more steps going down with a kneel post, a sort of banister up there. We've taken that soil and made some flat bits, created a proper, I think, landscaping, you know, sculptural form with the earth, big pile there and a little bit, and tuck it in a bit there. And that's then held in with a retaining wall. I suppose that was quite a rude awakening after the fun of moving everything around in the mini digger. Saying, right, I just need to put 15 metres of retaining wall in there and go through that learning process with some nice advice from the experts. And then carrying everything up the steps, all these big concrete blocks and bags of sand. Ordered, yeah, just slightly over, and a bit for luck's not a good idea when you're the last load on the concrete lorry, because it was like the magic porridge pot with this extra. But that got raked out over this bit in the end, and provides quite a nice foundation for the decking. People said, "Oh, don't, you know, you're just making trouble for yourself with a curved wall." But I really wanted a curved wall, so I did it. Yeah, I did it all myself. Got the blocks blocked out, and then it came to rendering. That's a cement render. I remember my son having friends over to his house and opening that door. You could sort of just about pull it open, and he thought he was in Narnia. And you just step out into the soil. Some years ago. Now it's a bit clean, and it makes a lovely bedroom. That you've got the evening sun here, and the idea is that you can sort of get out in the morning at breakfast time, and you can put in your socks. You know, it could be a nice clean area, and you can go up the steps and sit on the decking and see the view. Don't be afraid to sort of push your comfort. You know, be doing things it's nice to do things you're comfortable with, and you learn, you take baby steps and you learn, but don't be afraid to take on bigger projects. You know, bite off a little bit more than you can chew, because it's quite exciting, and that sort of pushes you to find solutions, you know, to resolve problems. And there's so much knowledge out there. There are always people you can ask for help. The internet, of course, provides a lot of factual knowledge. If you happen to listen to some sort of chirpy Australian tell you all about bricklaying, or some Glaswegian plumber telling you how to fix your bath. Yeah, the knowledge. There's so much. We're at a great time of having that knowledge accessible. You know, it's very easy to find.